Hey everyone, good morning. Today's giveaway day. You can see the link there in the live chat. If you click that, and I'll show you, but let's go ahead. We got to do 30, by the way, today, and there's 34 people, so right now we need everybody to do it. But there should be more than 30 people by the time that this is over, so usually we get around 80 to 100 people, so you know how that goes. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming on board. And you'll notice, let's go ahead and let me pull up a chart here real quick. You'll notice I've got this euro pound on the dashboard. We got a little break. Oh, that's too big of a pen stroke. We got a little break right here. Okay, and MACD's crossing over on the hourly. So I kind of like that. Before we decide to do anything though, let's take a look at what's going on the daily time frame. Daily is been down about 3 days, and it looks like today could be there was an inside candle here. So if it pops back up and breaks out, this could continue the move up. So I kind of like this. You see the MACD has crossed over, and on the hourly we've crossed over. We're breaking this level right here. And so I do like that. We do have some support here. This is a resistance. This is a pretty heavy resistance level, but I like to trust my trend line. So with everything that we're looking at here, I think that this would probably be a pretty solid setup. Let's take a look at it. I prefer to get a little bit bigger of a stop loss here. So I'm going to just do my custom order, and I'm going to change my stop down here. Give myself as much opportunity as I possibly can to make a winner on this trade. The bigger the stop loss you use, the better your win percentage is going to be. So that's what we're going to be looking at here, is trying to increase our winning percentage. So I'm going to actually go ahead and grab this one right now on an hourly time frame, and that is the euro pound. So there you have it. We started out with a nice little trade here. Okay, so I want to show you. Let's see if I can show you something. There we go. I want to see here if you guys can participate in our giveaway today. I got to find that link for everybody. The link. I'll find it. It is in the chat, so you guys will be able to see it there. And the chat link. There we go. I found it. So here we go. So you just click that link that you see in the chat, and then we got 5 retweets already. And so it's a giveaway for our community, our master trader community. And so if we get it up to 30, we're going to do it. So here's the deal, guys. I know that those of you that are participating are probably like, oh man, I wish we could get 30 so we could get a winner. Sure, some of you are thinking that, right? So with that being said, let's see if we can get it today. There's 36 people on, so if everybody does it, we're easily there. And we're going to have a lot more by the end of the session. So let's go ahead and just see what we can come up with there. All right, so we've got the euro pound set up in place. And just to give you a little bit of a trade plan here, this is moving up, and I'm actually already in profit on the particular trade. So that's a good sign. If it breaks below at all, I probably am not going to take a full loss on this. I'll probably just allow this to, I'll just try to get out early. But it's nice that we're getting in already. You can see the price is crossing over. We look at it on a 15. The MACD did just cross over. We got some nice momentum. And so I would look for it to slow down up here. So we'll have to decide if we want to try to get out at that point. But right now the entry was pretty solid. good timing on it, and we got an initial burst, so we actually got up 2 pips already, so yay for that. And I'll be checking in on the giveaway link throughout the session today. All right. Hi, Ulysses. Good morning, Frog. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone and our common viewers. We're really thankful for that. So, all right. So let's keep looking. One of the things I wanted to actually address today was the S&P, right? Anyone like to trade the S&P? We have a big old uptrend, right? A big old uptrend, but I want you guys to notice something that happened in the S&P. What do you guys notice? What happened here? We have a trend line break. Boom, boom. So now we're actually in a downward movement, right? Let's look at it on a daily time frame. S&P 500. S&P 500 gets kind of dangerous to short this thing. So if you're going to short it, you got to have a very tight stop. But there have been some big moves. Look at this one. February was pretty solid, from 396 all the way down to 372. So, that's a $200 move. So this thing doesn't go up all the time. Here's another big move, right? So right now it's topping out. It's starting to give us some signals. If this floor breaks, I'm thinking that we go short on it. So let's look at it. On the MACD side, we got a black dot. The MACD starting to go lower. On the 4-hour, it just crossed. Yay. On the hourly, it's down and it's moving back up. So I'm kind of looking at this 4-hour. If we get any kind of bounce here, and the market opens here in a few minutes, but if we get any kind of bounce on this, this might be an opportunity to take the short trade. So let's have somebody keep your eye on that for us. If you guys would keep your eye on that trade, let me know. I would appreciate that. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to do was open up if you guys had any questions, if there was anything you wanted me to take a look at. I'm going to look at gold again. Gold is one of my favorite pairs. I'm going to take a look at removing everything here. Okay, close. And then I need to remove this. I don't like this. Okay, so we're in an upward channel on gold right now. We've been moving up. We broke this key level. And you guys have known, who've been around, have seen we had this double bottom right here. And this is where I was actually saying we should go long. And if you had been following that counsel, it would have worked out pretty well, right? It would have worked out pretty well. So the other thing we want to note here is we broke out of here as well. So that's an important break. MACD is crossing over. MACD's crossing over. We've got a trend line right here. I would be watching this trend line pretty closely. This trend line right here, this trend line, this one, I would watch that really close. Anytime you get any kind of pullback, I think a nice long would be in order. Right? Anytime it comes back, we get a long. Just like that. Anytime we get that. So let's keep our eyes on that. Yay, Ben. Ben is sharing motivation. I love it. Thank you. If you have anything you want me to take a look at today, let me know. I actually have a live trade on. Let's see how it's going. Oh, we're making money. Making money by the second, by the pip. You can see we got that breakout right here. And if you guys remember my little tweezer pattern, we got that right here. The tweeze is on the 4-hour time frame. The only situation is we got some support right here that it's testing. And when I say support, please know that I mean resistance, because honestly, I know that you guys know what I'm talking about, even if I say the wrong word, because you guys are very smart. But I'll try to say the right word. I just get them confused. I don't know if I have like, I don't know if I have a support and resistance disorder. I can't say the right word. And I have always used the excuse of like my kids and their names. I always get their names wrong. And I'm like, they get mad at me. They're like, Dad, you know who I am? I said, yeah, I know who I am. I know who you are, but you also know who I'm talking to. So don't get all worked up over it. I'm trying to be better though. I'm trying. Let me get my focusing skills in order. So anyways, we got this level here. We got the tweezer. We broke out. We had the little trend line break. Boom. I'm in on this bad boy. So my stop is below here. And I have this other rising trend line as well. Okay, so my stop is actually down here, but I will probably get out if it breaks this trend line. So that's kind of one of the cool things about, and whether I'm watching it, the reason I have a bigger stop is because I'm not always watching the charts. And so if I'm not watching and we get a big spike, but if I am watching it and it closes below that trend line, I'll just close it. And it really helps. It really helps out. Yeah, well, that may be true. That I'm answering the comment from Trading Strategy Guides. So this is, I like this setup, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this make me some money. All right. So, and also we're looking at gold. Let's go back. I was looking at gold in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 hour. Right now it's pointing down a little bit. And so I personally would like to see this roll over a little more. I'd like to see it come down here. This is be my entry level. Now, of course, you can always short, right? Like boom, short, boom, and take the trade here. But whatever you do, just be monitoring your stats, monitoring your trades, monitoring your risk. Risk is always one of the most important things in trading, is to keep your risk in order. So that's really important. And we're up to 41 people live right now. So thanks, and a great, actually 43. Shout out to everybody. Today's giveaway day. We're going to be giving away at the end of the session at 10 o'clock, $1,000 price point. And we're at 7, so we need 23 more to go. There's 43 people. So you guys can do this. Just go ahead and click that link in the chat, and just click this retweet button and retweet it. And then it will, when it gets up to 30, we'll be there and we'll do it, right? And there's other people doing giveaways too, but don't sign up for their giveaways because Safe Galaxy sounds like something really silly. Just kidding. I don't know what it is, but it might be good. 250 million tokens. But anyhow, ours is the best. And you might be like, well, what is it? What is it? Well, let me show you. I'll give you guys an inside tour. This is our what you get access to, and it's kind of fun because we have a lot of people in here, and I got a professional trader hosting it. But we just do trades. So you click topics, and it gets daily trade updates. And so We got people calling trades on a regular basis. My head trading coach is just a beast. And so he's always doing great stuff. And the really cool thing is that everybody works together, and it just raises your level of trading. We help each other. We work together. We're all about building each other up to being successful. We have special trainings. You can see we have one, a members only training in here. And we also have a full course, which is a Master Trader complete course, which includes tools as well, trading tools. So that's what we're giving away. It's $997, and we're giving it away for free. So if you didn't enter into the drawing, you might want to do it now that you see that, because it's pretty cool. At least I think it is. And all of us master traders in there, because we don't want to just give you the trades. We do want to give you the trades, but we want to teach you to become a successful trader. That's really what our goal is here. That's the goal. All right. So, hey, thanks, Ben. I really appreciated it. And yeah, we have 20. The problem is I don't want to overkill people. I got 27 courses. 27 courses, that's a lot, right? But they're short. They're like 5 to 10 minutes. I keep them short on purpose because I don't want to overwhelm you, but it can be a little bit like drinking from a fire hose. If you've ever tried to do that, like, you miss a few drops, right? So you just go back and get it over and over again. But we take it in little tiny steps, because I believe that the biggest success is the tiny wins. You get a couple wins on the front end, or you avoid the big blowouts. That's the key, right? So Chris, I want to talk to Chris, because Chris said he just bought his first crypto. Hey, what'd you buy, man? What did you buy? Because I got Bitcoin, I got Dogecoin, I got XRP, I got some ETH. What do you got? Tell me what you got, man. What are you trading? And by the way, if you guys want anything on the analysis, we'll go ahead and look at it. I'm really interested in taking this as a short. So let's see. I'm going to be, this is the US stock market. I'm going to looking at shorting this today. Yeah, I got Doge, man. I got it. Let's see if it's on. Do they have it? I don't even think they have it on my crypto broker. No, I just got Bitcoin. My other account might have it, but Bitcoin, ETH, LTC. It's fun though. My Doge did really good. Got it to the moon. Yeah, well, to be honest, on the Doge thing, it could keep moving, and I've got some, and I've made a lot on it. And it's fun, but I got in a while ago, so that makes it even more fun. So right now it could drop. If it drops a little bit, I'll probably get out at some point. I can actually pull up a chart for that. Let's take a look at the chart. And let's do a little Dogecoin analysis. Okay, so here we go. This is Doge, 15 minutes. Let's go to a daily. And you can kind of see that it has had a nice explosion here. And so a lot of orders are coming in. Okay, but you'll notice that I actually got in back here on the first spike, right? So let's go back. And if we look at 20, my initial entry was here, okay? I'm trying to get this so it acts normal. My initial entry was around here on this spike, because I saw that it went up, and then when it went down, I got in at like 03, maybe 004, and so I got in here. Okay, now after that, you'll notice that it had a big spike. Okay, January, and then it dropped. Right, you see that big drop. But what's happening in here is that orders are coming in. Right, you got a pin people are buying, big time buyers are coming in, right? Big time buyers, buyer, lots of buyers. Okay. And so then it keeps moving. And then we had another big burst right here. Okay. Another big burst. So you can see this is a pattern, big burst. And so what happened, right? What happened after the big burst? Well, it dropped. Again, pretty significant drop, right? But this was a huge burst. And I had gotten in on this first one, right? I got in somewhere in this consolidation. And so then it came in and did it again, right? And then what happens? Okay. It consolidated, took another burst, and this was in February, another big one. And then it tired out, right? And that's what will happen. You'll get the big burst and the market gets tired. Okay. The market gets very tired, right? So consolidates. Buyers are stepping in. The way that you know is if this holds up is if the buyers are stepping in. If they don't, it's going to drop, right? It's going to drop. So it's holding its own. You see it's holding its own. And then look what we got. Again, this is April. So it's just going sideways. Every time it dropped, the buyers would step in and then the big burst, right? And so now we're here, okay? And it's hanging in there. Right? We got a big drop, a big pop, a big drop. So I'm expecting a very similar price pattern. I would be watching this, right? And you can trade this on a daily chart. Okay, you can say, okay, we got a pin bar, take this move, right? If you bought on this pin bar, it's 32 up to 44. So that's a pretty good move, right? You can get a lot there. Watch for consolidations, watch for a price pattern. These moves are pretty steep, so it's hard to even like draw a trend line on these. So you're going to have to just watch for price action moves, and you can do it on a lower time frame too, but it shouldn't be necessary. You could actually do daily. So Ben is right. Okay, Ben is right. And actually, my entry was at like 0.004. So I'm doing really well, to say the least. But here's the point of what, Ben. This is super smart. Okay, how many? Let's raise our hands here. You can see behind the little text wall. I'm raising my hand. How many of you know the fundamental structure behind Doge? How many of you guys know it? So there's a fundamental case for Doge, and there's also a fundamental case against Doge. So I'm not a big person on fundamentals. I'm not like, oh, you have to trade fundamentals, right? You don't have to do that. Okay. But it's hype, right? It's a big hype, but you can trade hype as long as you're managing your risk, right? You're managing your risk. The situation, and I haven't done a ton of study, but here's what I do know, okay? And if you guys have some more info, please let me know. But here's what I know. I know that the reason that Bitcoin is so wonderful is because Bitcoin has a limit, right? Bitcoin has a limit. And Doge was kind of created, from what I heard, as a joke, and there's unlimited amount of coins, okay? So think about this. With anything that goes up in value, like Bitcoin, there's a limit, and that scarcity is what creates the push. Okay, so Doge has an unlimited amount of currency that can be created. So, and they're creating tons of it all the time. So fundamentally, something that is unlimited is not really good for price increases. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. So this, in my mind, is not something that fundamentally that would really you'd want to hold on to, right? Fundamentally. Okay. Remember, fundamentally, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So the smart people like Ben, right? Yeah, the smart people like Ben, they know what's going on here. But you can still trade the hype, right? You can trade the hype. Just manage your risk. If the thing tanks, right? Because the thing could tank. Chris, you got it at 30 cents. The thing could go down to 0.0001 and you'd have 10 cents left, right? Or 5 cents left, right? You put 1,000 in, that $1,000 could literally go to 5 cents. So you just need to know that the risk is there, because of how it actually works. There's not a lot of reason for the value to stay high. Okay. But here's the thing, the hype, right? The hype could push this thing, mania. People is mania. And that's what really, drives a lot of these prices. So Steen is asking about the fundamental in crypto. So the biggest thing for me as why I'm a long-term Bitcoin holder is because it's really Bitcoin's cool, right? For a couple reasons. Think about the properties of money, right? Real cold hard cash, and how money works, right? And it's based off of this law of supply and demand, right? The law of supply and demand. If something is limited, the value is higher, and that's just the way it is. So one of the biggest benefits of Bitcoin is that it has a limited amount. Once the maximum amount has been mined, then it will not be anymore, right? It's done. Okay. It's done. Okay. That's it. Another thing that you got to think about with money in general and things that create value in life, and these are all like natural laws. It's just how the world works. In life, labor is always valuable, right? That's why a person that has a strong work ethic is a valuable person. A person that is lazy and has a poor work ethic is also known as worthless, right? A person that will not work is a worthless person. And that's why you see like maybe some spoiled rich kids, right? They're a little bit worthless. Or even kids that just get handouts from the government, worthless. Because, and I'm not attacking anyone, it is what it is, right? Because labor, I'm just talking about labor, right? I'm not talking about people, but labor creates value, right? Labor creates value. And so, in the creation of Bitcoin, there's labor involved, right? And there's money, there's actual cost and expense. So if we compare it to like gold, right? Gold has a long-term history for thousands and thousands of years. Gold has been a valuable money source. Okay. Now think about gold. Gold is, number one, it's limited. You have to get it from the earth. Okay. And, you have to dig to get it. You have to work really hard. You have to buy a shovel. You have to buy a gold pan. You have to buy a big piece of equipment. You have to buy the land, right? You have to buy the land to get the gold. You have to hire the workers to dig it out. Then you have to refine the gold. And there's lots. And I actually don't even know anything about Adam Smith, but he might agree with me. But you have to work really hard, right? And it costs a lot of money, right? So that's where the value comes in, okay? That's where gold comes from. Now let's compare that to crypto. Let's compare it to Bitcoin, okay? So you say crypto, Bitcoin specifically, Bitcoin has a limit. There's a limited amount. Number two is you have to create it. It takes work. You have to build software that mines it, and that takes work. It takes labor. It takes expense to build the software. You have to buy the computer. You have to buy a giant supercomputer, right? So it takes money. You have to run that supercomputer to do the mining. That takes money. That takes labor. It takes work, right? And it's limited. Okay, you have to run a giant warehouse. Some of these guys have these giant warehouses and they're paying for electricity. They're paying for the warehouse. They're paying for the air conditioning to run, to keep these machines, right? So there's a lot of expense, a lot of labor, a lot of work, which is where the value comes from. Now, Steen makes an interesting comment. He says the only value in Bitcoin is the blockchain. And so that's a really interesting statement. I'll just post that up there. But like, that doesn't really say anything, right? There's no actual, and obviously you're just talking in chat, but I don't really even know what that means, right? The blockchain, I think the fact that you can transfer person to person transfers, like if I send a code to your wallet and you can instantly have money, that's really valuable because it's so hard to transfer money to someone else, like a person to person payment in today's world. It's really challenging, right? So the fact that you can carry money with you wherever you go, think about like when you're traveling across a border and you have money, right? The authorities will search your pocket and they'll take all of your money, right? But if you're carrying it on a crypto code, I've even heard that people have memorized the code and they transfer millions of dollars across the border just by memorizing a code, right? So that's really a valuable thing that you can transfer person to person money, because in today's society, it's very challenging to be able to do that. So maybe that's what Steen means when he says the blockchain is valuable, because I'm not really sure exactly what he means by that. But anyways, that's just some fundamental stuff of why I really like crypto, especially Bitcoin. And I also get excited about some of these people, these businesses that are doing all this cool stuff with it. So they're, like one of the companies that I work with is Nexo. They will give you a loan on your crypto. So if you hold crypto, and I can actually pull up the account here, it's nexo.io. If you hold crypto in your account, they'll give you a loan. So if you have $1,000, they'll loan you 500 on it, right? Also, they'll pay out interest for your crypto, for your Bitcoin and other coins. So I love seeing really smart people doing cool stuff with crypto, right? These guys are some of those really smart people. These guys are on point. Okay. I really like what they're doing. And so that's another thing that I believe creates value. When you get some smart people that create a system around a crypto, then it increases the value even more, right? And yeah, Tesla's really smart too, that they're allowing customers to buy cars with crypto. Why is that so smart? Because they're going to hold that crypto. If you buy Bitcoin, you buy Tesla with Bitcoin, they're probably not going to transfer it over to cash. They're not going to transfer it over to dollars. They're going to hold it. So they could make money just from holding Bitcoin. Think about when we talk about the value, right? Think about the value of Bitcoin and the value of gold, how much effort it takes. That automatically makes it worth more money. But if we think of the US dollar is you click a button and instantly billions of dollars, trillions of dollars is created, right? Instantly, just through the click of a button. How much labor is involved in clicking a button, right? It makes the actual dollar currency pretty worthless in comparison to some of these other ones where there's a lot of effort involved, right? So that's why it would be smarter for an individual to hold their money in crypto, right? Put your money and hold it in Bitcoin. Collect interest on. Can you collect interest on holding dollars in a bank account? No. You put your interest. You hold the crypto. You collect interest on it, and it goes up in value, right? So people that are thinking nowadays, they're bailing on banks. They're starting to put their money into crypto and hold it. Think about what Elon's doing. He's not holding cash. He's holding Bitcoin, right? He's being smart. And that's what we should be doing. Also, we should be being smart, right? And so the biggest challenge, so Ben has made a really good comment here. It's difficult difficult for the government to trace crypto and a tax advantage. And also it gives you some privacy, right? And so that's actually the biggest risk. So we always want to look at risks. The government absolutely hates crypto. The central banks have made comments saying that they think it's stupid. They say that only criminals use it. And I think I talked about this earlier, that you got to define what a criminal is. But yeah, the risk is that the federal government, the central banks are going to shut it down. And it would be very hard for them to do that. But if they all work together, they could do it. And I still think that crypto would operate on a black market, to be honest, even if they made it illegal. I don't think they could possibly do it, but I think they might try. And if they can't, they're going to at least try to control it in some way. Okay, so anyways, let's go back and we're going to take a look. I'm waiting on this U.S. trade. I'm personally looking for a short setup. Let's take a look at my euro pound. Euro pound pushed up a little bit. I had tested this level, and it didn't surprise me that this level was going to give it a little bit of a pushback. So we might actually drop here. One of the things about a trade like this is a trade like this, it breaks and it goes up 10 pips, and sometimes that's all you get. But usually when you do get a break, you get some kind of follow through. So right now we have tested the level and we're getting a pushback. So the last 2 times it tested, it broke. So it might not keep moving here, but I'm going to give it some room to let the buyers step in. I'd like to see some buyers stepping in. And so at this point, we could get some buyers step in. Maybe it'll go like this, and maybe some buyers will step in here because we have a trend wall. Or perhaps it will come down like this, and then buyers step in here. And one of the ways that I trade when I see a possible trend, that's why I like to trade in the direction of the trend. One ways I like to trade is I'll get in here. Okay, this is what is kind of like a laddering technique. You'll get in here and you'll move up. Price moves up, and then it pulls back, right? And I won't hit my target. But then I'll watch it and I'll see what happens. And if it consolidates like this and buyers start stepping in, right, I'll watch this and I'll take another buy here, right? And so I'll take a buy right here. And then if it breaks again, we'll take a buy right here. Let me show you how that actually would work on a chart. Let's go back and take a look at it in a chart. Gold just did a fake out. Hopefully, gold did a fake out to the downside. Yeah. I'm waiting patiently. I'm not going to short this, but I'm waiting for a better pullback. But let's talk about that laddering technique here. I want to show you how it would work on gold. So you get a trend line break. Okay. You get a trend line break here. And guess what I'm doing? If we follow my strategy, we got the cross here, the break right here. I'm buying with a big B. Right, big B and a dollar sign, and maybe I need to put that crypto sign, right? Because what's the Bitcoin, right? Because I'm a crypto bull, right? So I'm buying here, but now my target maybe isn't quite ready to be reached. Maybe my target's here. Well, and it's easy to do this in hindsight, but I like to just look at patterns and try to find repeats, right? So in this case, I talked about adding to the position. So you buy position number 1 here, but then we get a consolidation and a pullback, and then you put this trend line. My second entry would have been right here, okay? And so this would be entry number 2. And then the second price moves up and moves into the target. So instead of winning 1 trade, you're winning 2. And the cool part about this is you won't have any risk, right? Because why? Well, you'll have risk, but your risk will be the same. Because this trade, by the time you're up here and you enter your second trade, your initial stop loss, you move this target, you move it up to like break even, right? So trade number 1 is on break even. Trade number 2 has a smaller loss. And so you're able to make some money on that by laddering a position. And if you get multiple positions going in your direction, it can really accelerate your account growth pretty nicely. Okay, so that's something that we want to really go over, okay, and think about, right? So right now I've got this euro pound, and if it makes any kind of move up, I might consider adding to that position. Okay, let's go ahead, and I need to go back to our giveaway because you guys remember we're at a giveaway, and we've got 47 people on. Hooray, hooray. Here's the giveaway link, I believe. Let's see here. This is it. So we got 15. So we're halfway to the goal, guys. I believe that you guys can pull this off, right? All you have to do is click this button, this little arrow button, and retweet it, right? We've got 44 people on. If every single person does this, we're going to do the entry to the giveaway. And remember, 30 people, the product is $1,000. It's to our community. Okay. And so Ben made a good comment here. Also, missed it. With risk on, when Russia and China are devaluing and playing with the US dollar, crypto stays clear of that variations. Yeah, that's very true. Lots of crazy manipulation happening, right? That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic, is the manipulation. The central banks, that's why they hate crypto, is they can't manipulate it. They love controlling the dollar because they can make it go up and down based on whatever they feel like doing, right? And that's kind of a cool thing for somebody to have that kind of power. You know, they just control the currency. Guess what? They don't have control over crypto, and they hate it, right? They can't manipulate it, right? They can't regulate it and manipulate it and control it. And that for them is very, very bad because they don't really believe in free markets. They do not believe in them at all, and because they don't have control. I mean, think about it. From a power point of view, if you could have a market that you could control, you basically create unlimited wealth for you and your friends. Or if there's a free market that you can't control, which would you choose, right? I don't know which one I would choose, but I kind of don't like the idea of the manipulated market because it just seems wrong. But, you know, again, your definition of criminal. Okay, so anyway, just retweet this, guys, and you'll be able to do that. And while you're at it, let's go ahead and look at some more trades. Okay, so we got, wrong account. Let's look at this one. We got the euro pound here moving up. Let's take a look at, actually, that was a USD CAD trade, which I had taken. Let's take a look at that on my other chart. USD CAD. Okay, so we got USD CAD, and I actually, amazingly, had gone long on this morning. I was initially thinking that it was going to go short, but we had, just because of this strong downtrend, we did get a breakout right here on this USD CAD. Take a look at this USD CAD. We had a breakout right here. Okay. But I wasn't sure if this was legit or not, just because every time this thing pops, it gets smashed. But this is a pretty legit trend line. The MACD is trying to cross, so this is pretty solid. And so when we got the pullback, I went ahead and went long right here this morning on the USD CAD. And so that moved up pretty nicely. And we'll see. It's still overbought. It might come back down here. This has been depressed for such a long time. What could happen is that shorts start getting squeezed really hard on this, right? Shorts get really squeezed. And what I mean by that is everybody's like, oh, the USD CAD's up short, because this has been almost, we talk about a gold mine. The USD CAD has been a gold mine for quite some time. And let me tell you how long it's been a gold mine. All the way since last March. Okay, anytime you get any kind of pullback, this thing is the short opportunity. So let's take a look. we go up, short. We go up, short. We go up, short. We go up, short, right? So it's almost like just clockwork. I mean, it's almost like just sure, it's a sure thing. Okay, here we go. Anything time this bad boy pops, you want to short. And, here we go, right? It's just too easy. It's too easy, right? So, boom. So what happens is people start to figure it out, okay? People start to figure this out. And they're shorting. So we got all these guys shorting. And then what happens is now we got people shorting. Well, when it squeezes, is the short people, they start to get hurt, right? They're like shorting and it keeps going up. They're like, wait a second, my wealth creation formula is not working anymore. That's not good. And so it's getting squeezed. We still haven't been squeezed yet, but a squeeze could happen, right? So if this level goes, these guys are going to get squeezed. And so shorts are going to come in. There's going to be more shorts. And then the buyers are just going to push this up. And you'll see a pretty big spike. That's kind of what a short squeeze is. And then eventually, what happens is these guys sell. They sell. The shorts sell. And then the buyers pick up and they're like, oh, no, this thing's taken off. And so on pullbacks, we get buyers. And so then because people are like, this is a reversal, let's jump on. And then we see all the shorts finally bail out, all the buyers come in, and we get a bunch of move up here, and then the short squeeze happens, right? And so you just want to be aware of that. That's, again, why risk is really important, managing your risk, because you just never know what's going to happen with this. Anytime you get a spike and a short squeeze, you can lose your money. Right. And with this market, it's just like I was telling Chris in the beginning with the Dogecoin, 10 cents, he puts $1,000 in and it could be worth 5 cents. The same thing with this. If you get squeezed out, you got to manage that risk because it could disappear on you really quick. So risk management is really important. But we do have some levels to watch. We've got this level, right? This level here, this level. If this breaks out, we could move here. We could have a move right here. And then at that point, we might have a different trend direction. We might see that happen. Fundamentally, I'm not huge on the fundamental side. US dollar to me still seems like it could continue to weaken just because of, the stimulus packages and all that. But it depends on the economy and things like that. But we do also, if we look at patterns, we have a reverse head and shoulders. Shoulder number one, shoulder number two, shoulder one, the head, and shoulder two. So this is a pretty solid pattern, especially on a daily time frame. But it doesn't always play out. But we got here, and here, head and shoulders. And so what do we have? We have the neckline on a head and shoulders pattern, and we got the breakout. So a great way to trade this would be to just take it, long right here, right here. We got the neckline break, stop loss down here, and we're going to do it. So I already took the euro pound today. And so now I'm going to do this one too. So let's go ahead and do it. I think the analysis was pretty solid on it. So let's go ahead and grab this setup. So I went ahead and went long on the USD CAD. Very counter trend, but we got the MAC. But it's not like I'm not prepared here. I've got my risk in place, so I'm in the trade. I got my risk. Okay. I've got deep analysis. I took my time on it. I've got the head and shoulders pattern. I've got the MACD crossing. I've got the trend line breaking. So I've got all of these things in my favor, right? I've got the possibility of a short squeeze. We got the possibility of a short squeeze. So if you think that this trade is going to be any good, go ahead and enter our giveaway and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you get more trades like this. This is pretty awesome that we get this kind of analysis and trade setups. And I'm really thankful for everybody that's participating, which is pretty cool. So we got 2 trades on the day, the Euro Pound and the USD CAD. Euro Pound is finally starting to make a move, guys. It's finally starting to make a move. And I'm pretty excited about that because I'm in the trade. So we got USD CAD and Euro Pound on the day. We're at 43 people on this channel. Thanks, everyone that's participating. Let's go ahead and check out we got 9 minutes left before I bail out of here, and we still need 15 more. So, guys, we've got 43 people. If you want to enter into that trading, okay, so Carolyn, I really like Carolyn. She's been on my channel for a while. She's saying, okay. So I think she's saying, here's my interpretation of that, Carolyn. You tell me if I'm correct. Carolyn is saying, okay, the trade setup's decent, have something a lot better. If that's what you're saying, hit that like button. Now, Carolyn, I really tried hard to bring a good USD CAD setup. Tell me what setup you're looking at that's even better, because I'm really interested to know. And I love it when we get good feedback because, listen, I like to see the markets from a different set of eyes. My eyes have seen so many things in the markets over and over and over again, and my eyes pick up these patterns. I might not be able to say what is support and what is resistance because I'm backwards, but I can see these patterns. So with that being said, I love to get counter ideas. I love it when people tell me different ideas. That's really awesome and exciting. So because even though I've seen these charts a million times and my eyes pick up the patterns really good, that doesn't mean I see everything, right? So I want to see what other people are seeing, just so to give me some perspective. And if I disagree, that's okay. I love it when people disagree because that's where conflict helps you sharpen things out and to work out problems, right? And so I like that. Okay, so we got Euro Pound moving up. USD CAD moving up, moving on up. So right now we got 2 trades doing well. Let's see about what else? Oh, let's look at that the US. Okay, so we got some action here on this US. This thing is so bullish that it can be a little scary to short, but if you're here's what I'd be waiting to do on this one. If this breaks, go ahead and take the long. If we get a pattern failure here, which I'm actually thinking we might get a pattern failure. If this comes up and we get any kind of maybe tweezer pattern or a break, some kind of trend line break, maybe it comes up here and maybe it goes sideways and then we get a trend line and then this thing shows a tweezer pattern to the downside, maybe short this thing right into here, right? And then it could even go lower. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on this. But the thing, all right, Carolyn. Well, thank you for that. The Euro Pound happened on GJ today in the start of the New York session. Awesome. Let's take a look at the GJ. I appreciate the feedback. The GJ. All right. So obviously I had already looked at this because I have a trend line. Pretty nice breakout right here. The GJ, a very strong uptrend, but you'll notice something that I'm noticing. What am I noticing? I'm noticing that the MACD is moving lower, about ready to cross. I'm noticing that we have a shoulder. Ooh, head and shoulders. Does that look familiar, anyone? Neckline. Okay, what happens here? Doom, 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 doom. That's actually a kind of nice mountain that I drew right there. Is that what you were thinking, Carolyn? Were you on point with? Are we finally on the same page? If this breaks, I don't know if it's going to go that low. That would be pretty crazy. But I think if we break this, that's a short, right? And I don't know where it's going to go. It might go here, could go here. But I think that we could see a short setup there. Ultimately, fundamentally, for those of you fundy people out there, fundamentally, the yen is really weak and the pound has been strong. So fundamentally, it might not be a great trade, but chartamentally, it's a good trade. So Ben, of course, says it's bullish because he's a fundamental guy. And all the fundamental people say that it's bullish. And I believe that it is bullish, but I'm also believing that I'm going to follow what the charts tell me, right? So I like buying. I love buying setups in uptrends. My favorite thing in the world is to buy uptrends, but I can't ignore this pattern, right? So does that mean I'm going to sell? No, it does not. But it means that if I get something like this, a breakout of this level with a nice bullish candle, I'm going to short. I don't think this is ready, but I think that it could. My other option on this, and if I do grab it, this is a pretty good setup because why? We got the MACD moving lower, okay, looking to cross. We got the head and shoulder pattern, and yeah, exactly. It might dip more, so I might be able to grab it. Everything needs to settle out, right? Nothing can go straight up forever, right? So even if we look at this, we draw a nice little fib level, swing high, swing low, right? You can see it hit the 23, but a lot of times we get 38 retracements. We get a 38.2 retracement, right? So these levels, 50% retracement, right? So the market has to be able to collect buyers. Carolyn, that is the mystery question. That's the mystery question, right? And I can tell you, I have an answer for that, okay? I have an answer for that. And it's called you buy the rumor and sell the news, right? Everyone's like, oh, pound is great. I've been hearing it for so long. Pound's wonderful. The pound has more vaccines. They have so many vaccines in the UK. They have a vaccination army. Everything's wonderful and roses there. And unicorns are on every street corner and pots of gold. So buy the pound. Well, when the news comes out, everyone's like, oh, yeah, we already knew that and we already bought. So now it's time to get out, right? Which is one of the reasons why I just don't get super excited about fundamentals, because the patterns will tell you what you need to know. So I'd done the same thing so many times. I'm like watching news reports and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to buy this pound because it had positive news. And the next thing I knew, it tanked. And it happened all the time. It doesn't always happen like that, but sometimes it does. That's the thing with news, is you can never predict what's going to happen. But I like to look at patterns. And at some point, we might do a live news trade, because they're harder and harder to do. They used to be really, really lucrative when the news moved the market really heavily. It's not operating that way like it used to. But if you get a really good news announcement, like a non-farms payroll, and it has a big deviation, it could really, really look at it. So, yeah, that's actually another, Ben's got some really good insight here. When you look at psychology, right? The market makers, you want to see what the market makers are thinking. They're trying to do the opposite of what they think retail traders are doing, and they're always trying to shake retail traders out of their trades. So the market makers might be selling their positions, trying to drive the price lower. Why? Why are they trying to drive the price lower? So they can get in at a lower price. They might be trying to drive it right back down here, right? They might be trying to drive it here or here. Why? Because they got big old buy orders here. They got $8 billion of buy orders at these levels, right? And they're not they want the price to get down there so they can get a good price and then drive that thing right up. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead now and everybody just take a look at your, let's take a look at the Twitter thing again and see if we made it. Hit that retweet. We got 43 people on here, and I just am really thankful for every person, and I'm really thankful for everybody that's asking solid questions. So there we go. We got 15. So that's pretty good. So 15 is good, but it's not 30. So next time, this is 3 times. I like to give everybody a little bit of baby victories. And we're just obviously my channel. It's my fault. My channel is not at a 30 tweet channel yet. We'll get there. We're going to get to becoming a 30 tweet channel. We're going to get to being a 100 tweet channel. But right now, we're just a 15 tweet channel. So I'm going to have to do a lower prize next week. We'll see what it's going to be. But next week, we're going to get the giveaway because I'm going to lower it down to 15, see if we can get the 15, and we're going to just ladder our way up to success. USD CAD was just hit by the news. Let's just see what happens. USD CAD. News hit. Oh, my goodness. It was a news hit, and I actually might lose this trade. So thank you, Pierre. We'll keep updated on that one. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. I'm taking off. Let me look at the euro pound. Euro pound still in there, and the US is pushing up into this resistance area. All right, guys. I'll update you guys on how everything worked out for me, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.